than when I first lived in LA. 5 to 10 years ago, there was this metro line, but it didn't go to that many places. But now, take a look at a map and you'll see that there is at least one line going in each direction, and there is a line that goes all the way across from Santa Monica to downtown. It's not the best system in the world by any means, but I just find that a lot of people that are new to LA or don't live here have no idea about this metro line. And they are working on extending it as well. It's soon gonna be in Beverly Hills and Westwood. They're putting money into this for the 2028 Olympics. And I think this is really cool because if you live near a station, you can use this as an alternative for driving. It's not expensive, it's clean. I've been on it, it's pretty nice. I wanted to check it out a year ago, so I took it from Santa Monica to Culver City. I think ridership was still down due to COVID, so it wasn't that busy. It's 1:30 p.m. on a Friday, and this is a really busy time on the road, but it's not a very busy time on this train. And the one that I was on was very clean and it felt pretty new. So I was shocked to see that now there are comments on the YouTube videos about it saying that it's not very safe. When I went on it, it felt pretty safe. If you're coming from New York, it's nowhere near as efficient as the subway system there. But if you hate driving or if you're going to an event downtown and don't want to pay for parking, this is an option. It's a little slow, is the only thing. To go all the way from Santa Monica to downtown LA is 17 stops. So it's gonna take a while, and the average speed is at about 10 miles per hour. It really didn't go that fast. Depending on the time of day, it can be faster to drive, but during rush hour, the Metro actually is probably gonna be faster. There's also a service called Metro Micro that in certain areas will give you a ride short distances for $1. It's a public service. I saw this on TikTok and I've never tried it, so let's give it a try. I have booked a ride literally for $1. It seems fake. Like, how is this real? I booked this one in advance and it gave me a pickup window, 4:05 to 4:15 p.m. So what I've learned about how this works is we'll pick you up from the nearest bus stop to you. So you do have to walk to the bus stop. It's about a 7-minute walk from here right now. Walk was kind of nice. And now we wait for the shuttle to pick me up. This is so crazy. Although there was a 10-minute pickup window, the driver was right on time and I could track where the driver was at in the app. So it felt very similar to Uber. It's like a government subsidized Uber. They are basically all either vans or shuttles, so they're sometimes a bit larger than this, and this one was ADA accessible. I chatted with my driver and he told me a lot about it.
It's hard to go now.
Really? They're getting busier, it seems like?
Super busy.
Wow. And he's even met a rider who sold their car because they just take this now. However, this is only in specific service areas right now, and it's only meant for short rides within the neighborhood. While I was in the car, it actually stopped to pick up another person. This I did not see in the TikTok I watched, so it is more like Uber Pool, I would say. And this did make my trip quite a bit longer. What would have been a 5-minute ride was more like a 20-minute ride. So while it's not the most efficient thing ever, it's only $1, so if you are on a budget and have a little more time, this could be a good option. So not the most convenient thing if you have a car, driving is always going to be quicker, probably easier, but if you don't have a car, this is an option. And it's cheap, so there are more public transportation options than there were before. But I would argue that this still is a city that you need to have a car in if you want to get the most out of it. Now, I do have some friends who have lived here without cars and made it work, but I do think it limits you a lot. Like, I'm currently just visiting and I'm Ubering around, and when I tell you, I just feel kind of don't have that feeling of freedom to just be able to go somewhere and put stuff in your car and come back to it. The city's just so sprawling. You end up going to so many different areas that are kind of far away. Ubers would add up. To get from here to over here, that could take you like an hour, unless you live in a super walkable neighborhood and you work from home and you just get a lot of things delivered. I think you'd probably end up just either never going anywhere or spending way more on Ubers than you would on having a car, in most cases. I think it can work. You can live here without a car, but you're just not gonna I wouldn't do it, personally. My next piece of advice is to live near your friends. Everyone knows about the traffic, so it's not always easy to go visit people that live even just 5 miles away from you. I used to think, oh, it's fine, I don't mind driving, I'll go drive to see people people? No. It is a game changer. If you live walking distance or in the same building or even just a short drive away from your friends, it is so much more fun. It's the biggest hack of life. And I don't think you need to prioritize living that close to your friends because it's easy to get around. But it really is a thing here that people do. My friend Sarah just moved here. You guys may know her. She's also a YouTuber. She told me this was a factor in how they chose living. So how did you go about finding what was important to you?
We came here because a lot of our friends are here, our industry is here, so many YouTubers are here, and specifically in the area that we're in, a lot of creators are now in the Valley, which is cool. So it is a little bit cheaper here than West LA. It's really beneficial to live within, I think, a 30-minute radius of your friends, because you say that you'll, trek out there to like Long Beach or whatever. That's like an hour. With traffic, it'll be an hour and a half, hour, 45 minutes. It's much easier to hang out with people when you are closer. So I think that is a huge priority when you're moving to a place like LA. Try to figure out where your main people are and be within like 30 minutes of them.
I think it's so smart what you did, because this city, if any, it's just gonna make it so much easier for you. I think you're gonna enjoy it more because you're near people that you want to be near. If you're totally starting fresh and don't know anyone here, then I guess you don't really need to take this one into account. But if you do have a few friends here and you can move and stay away from it, I would really recommend it. The most fun I ever had living here was when I lived in a townhouse with 2 roommates I was friends with, and right next door and 3 more of our friends. It felt like we had a solid little community. We didn't have to deal with traffic to see each other, and it was just so much easier to hang out, even sometimes last minute, or help each other out with things that we needed. Next thing you need to know is that this can be a lonely city. LA is a city that is harder to form a solid community in than other cities. If you look online, there are posts and posts about how LA feels like a lonely city, and there's a few reasons for this.
We have 900.
For this. Number 1, the sprawl. I mean, look how big it is. You'll meet people and make friends that live all over this map. Because of the sprawl, it does make it harder to do things, to get people together, or to feel like you have your community in one place. The next thing is the mentality and kind of the flakiness. LA does have a stereotype for flaky people, and the LA natives will tell you it's all the transplants. That is kind of true, probably. And I think, yeah, there's more flakiness in this city than a lot of cities, because 1, hello, it's really hard to get around. Like, you're thinking twice if you're gonna go somewhere. And 2, people are moving here not to just hang out a lot of the time. A lot of people are moving here to make it in some way. There's a lot of opportunities out here, and so if some opportunity comes up, you might get flaked on. Not always like the stereotype of people trying to social climb. It is career opportunities too, and I think pretty legit reasons. Friendship, I don't think is the top priority for a lot of people that live there. It's career. And the third reason is the car culture. There's no energy if you're walking around the city. Like, it's actually really weird to walk around LA. It feels really weird. So you end up spending a lot of time getting in your car, being in your car alone, going from place to place on your own, and you just don't have those micro interactions. You don't bump into friends. Your interactions with other people might just be more like road rage. So it's not like a friendly thing. It can make you feel isolated, just in your little bubble, in your little car. It just doesn't have that energy of a city, because it's not really. It's like a bunch of suburbs. And so I think that can make you feel just like not that connected to it, because like you're just in your car looking at it, so you're not outside experiencing it. There are studies on this about how places with a really heavy car culture kind of perpetuate loneliness. And this is a city with a huge car culture, probably the biggest in America. I think it's good to know going into moving there that it can be a lonely city, because it doesn't have to be. If you're really good about making plans and you move to a walkable area and you just go out of your way to get plugged into a community, then you can definitely feel a sense of connection here. It just takes a little more work than I think. And the last thing is that it's actually not always sunny in LA. Every May and June, the weather gets super gloomy. This is one that people that are new to LA are always so confused by, but it's called June gloom or May gray. It's this phenomenon where the end of May or a lot of June is really gloomy. And this would happen almost every year that I lived in LA. It is worse if you're near the beach, and it typically burns off in the afternoon. It still gets kind of sunny, but it is a thing that happens pretty much every year. The weather isn't perfect anymore like people think. Also, usually around September is fire season. If there's any fires in Northern California, which every year the last 4 years that I lived there was, the smoke is so bad you do not want to go outside. It seems like this is something that actually kind of happens every year now, and it did not happen when I first lived in California. It's good to know about June gloom, because if you want to do any traveling, June might be the time to do it. Sublease your apartment to some sucker that doesn't know about it and just like travel to Europe. No, I'm kidding. No, it's really not that bad. In the rest of the year, the weather is absolutely perfect, so you really can't complain. I've noticed that LA has changed somewhat since the pandemic. One thing does remain the same, however, you definitely won't go to the beach that often. So those are a few things that you know before you move to LA. I know some of these weren't the most positive, but it is still an amazing city. You have perfect weather almost year round. Some of the best restaurants, the beach. Anytime there's a new trend, something new happening, it's coming to LA first. Every music artist is gonna have a show here. Like, there are so many great things about this city. No city is perfect, but it might be perfect for you if you're willing to accept something. It's a great city if you don't mind being in the car, honestly. It's kind of what it comes down to. I actually have another video of things you should know before you move to LA I made about 4 years ago. So if you want to see even more things, I'll have that one linked down below. And if you currently live in LA and you think I missed anything, comment down below. What should the people know that are thinking of moving here? Because this barely scratched the surface.
Ready yet. Ready yet.
I can't grow facial hair. I've never been able.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion.
Count me in.
We have 999 happy haunts,
That's oddly specific.
but there's room for more.
Not today. Amen.
Which offers you this chilling challenge to find a way out.
You gotta go down there. You all right? You good?
No! This is a tunnel of terror!
Disney This Haunted Mansion, rated PG-13. Tickets available now.
This is the world's first safe vacuum.
I need
with
more
a
time.
steam cleaning. I've been using it for the last few months, but I recently moved it into a sometimes I really take it out to test and show you guys what this thing is made of. Personally, I love living with all the dogs, but this one is not fully potty trained yet. So as you can imagine,
Do you require my
it needs
aid?
some major cleaning. Here's a look at the before. We've got paw prints everywhere. The golden retriever tumbleweeds. And honestly, the floors just all feel really gross. This is the Mod V1 Ultra. You've got a water tank up top for the steam cleaning, a dirty water tank down below, a spot to put in the hardwood floor cleaner, the Tesla valve mixing, which combines the water and the floor cleaner. The handle has an LCD screen, 2 buttons so that you can shift through different modes and turn it on and off. You've got the self-cleaning button and a knob to control the flow of the cleaning solution. It also comes with a base for the vacuum to stand on that charges it, a container of hardwood floor cleaner, 4 packets of citric acid, an extra roller brush, and a cleaning tool. This vacuum has a really sleek design. Aside from being a great cleaning tool, they definitely keep in mind aesthetics. It just looks cool. Even on the charging dog in your home, it looks really nice. It's actually won 2 awards, the Red Dog Design Award and the IF Design Award. The setup for this vacuum is pretty quick. First thing I'm doing is adding the hardwood floor cleaner that it comes with into the mixing valve. This vacuum has what they call Tesla valve mixing, which mixes the perfect amount of cleaning solution in with the water. So not just when it's cleaning, but also in smart mode or when starting self-cleaning, Tesla valve mixing cleans. So simply put the cleaner in here, pop it back in, super easy, and then also pour the water into the water tank, turn it on at the top, and we are ready to go. I told my roommate she's not clean the floors for a week, and this is how it was, so let's see how the vacuum handle it. This water, it's definitely ready to be put in. So I definitely wanted to use the cleaning mode over here. Once the red light is flashing, you know it's reached the temperature, you can pull the trigger and it will release the steam. It doesn't do this automatically for safety reasons, so you have to pull the trigger. What's really cool about this is you notice that it is suctioning as well. It's picking up all the stuff on the floor, picking up the tumbleweed. It actually didn't do it the first time, but the second time it did. But this takes me a lot of time because we are vacuuming and we are steam cleaning it with 230-degree steam at the same time. This steam is going to eliminate 99.9% of the bacteria. So steam can be a really effective natural cleaner. Vacuum is TUV certified and EPA certified. Gross, right? And it looks way better, but this was a pretty easy spot, right? An area I just know is going to be needing help is under the garbage can. Let's just take a look. I am scared for this. Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
I'm not ready
I'm going to take a guess that there is why. Because there would be little stains. Nothing major. It does look like they're everyday sort of cleaning, but it does a really great job both picking things up and steam cleaning any stains off. So under the garbage can, check. Can definitely handle this. Let's see how this does with wet and dry coffee stain. So I've got it on steam mode. You can't really see the steam in this shot, but you can see a layer being uncovered from this floor. And after 2 passes, it's got the coffee stain gone. I still had it on steam mode for the liquid part, but I would actually change that to suction. This was my first time using it on coffee, and for some reason I felt like I needed to vacuum it really slowly, but you actually don't need to go this slow. There is a fan that is helping to dry, but you can see it was able to fully clean up the coffee stain. Overall, steam mode does a really good job with stains. You can see this one here disappears in the first pass. Sometimes it takes 2 passes, but it's 230-degree steam, so it does a really great job at removing stains, old or new. But I wanted to give it an even more extreme challenge. So we've got some coffee here, hot sauce, coffee creamer, and a little bit of salad dressing. I think these are somewhat common things that you might spill in your kitchen, and they're definitely not fun to clean up and pretty challenging for the typical vacuum. I put the vacuum on smart mode. From experience, I found that's the best thing to do in this kind of situation, and pretty crazy, you can see it vacuumed up the coffee in the first go. It actually did this with all of them, so I'm just showing you guys in real time so you can see exactly how it did it with no like editing. You can see I'm not cutting at all or doing anything. It just is able to pick up everything in one go, which is pretty awesome. After picking up the initial mess, I also went through again in steam mode just to really sanitize it. Pro tip for you guys, if you hold the trigger, it will release steam and also maximize the suction power, so that can really help with tricky messes. So it it actually picked everything up on the first pass through. Pretty crazy for a vacuum to be able to do that. Afterwards, I put it back on the dock so it could go through the self-cleaning cycle. I'm going to let it self-clean. We're just gonna press that button. Because after cleaning up that much stuff, I do want to make sure the roller brush is extra clean. It is self-cleaning constantly while you use the vacuum, but I like to put it back on the dock after something like that just because it's gonna be a more thorough self-clean. They have a triple self-cleaning system for the roller brush. First, the Tesla valve releases some of the cleaning solution to clean the brush. The EcoClean ozone further minimizes odors and germs, and lastly, hot air is circulated to ensure that it's totally dry. Rather than a dust bin that you get with a lot of vacuums, this has a dirty water tank that you empty, and I'll show you guys how to use it. I would recommend putting it down a sink that has a garbage disposal because it's not just water. It is a quick process to empty it out and you don't really have to touch anything, which is great. Got that emptied and went back to clean. But I also wanted to try it on a dry mess, so let's see how it does with all of these crackers. As you can see, it's able to pick them up, it's able to handle them. I don't think it's really meant for picking up such big items, but if you really continue, it will do it. In this scenario, it is helpful to press the trigger. This is gonna enable a really strong suction so that it can be used as a vacuum cleaner. It also will automatically increase the suction power when it encounters debris, but if you feel like you need to give it a little extra push, you can always press the trigger. It does blow air onto the ground after. This is with their jet blade. Completely dry the floor, but it does get a bit dark and you can kind of let it dry after. And this vacuum has an 82-minute runtime, so it has a pretty long battery, and you just put it back in the dock and you're done to recharge. So overall, Mach V1 Ultra versus 3 dogs, I'd say the Mach V1 won the battle. It actually handles everything. I was really impressed with this vacuum. The cleaning is really cool because it does everything a little more eco-friendly, less harsh chemicals, and it's always just easier to get stains off when you're using hot. So I hope that you guys enjoyed checking out this vacuum. I'll have a link down below if you want to get more info or order one. That is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
I'm low on precious moments.
I'm not ready yet.
I'm not ready yet. Ready yet. Ready yet. My burden is too great. I cannot salvage that.
You can take what's left.
I'm not ready yet. I need time to prepare that.
Bill of Mortality. In the year of the light, 1318, Anno Kyrgyzstan, we have buried 92 souls on these hallowed grounds. Abortive and stillborn, 7. Bleeding wounds, 4. Childbed, 2. Executed, 15. Frostbitten. Old age, 1. Removal of blood, 54. Starvation, 3.
I need time to prepare that. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. Thank the fates that you live. Thank you for all. I'm not ready yet.
It must have been a grim place now to get this.
Came apart nicely.